Hey, we're live. Hi, Steve. How you going?
Hi, Cam. Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome, everyone. This is the live stream to our business broadcast group in our Facebook group. And today, Steve's sharing some wisdom with us, and it's the 5 low-cost, and I can't believe it, or no-cost tools for every copywriter's arsenal. So, Steve, why low-cost or no-cost? I've got to ask that question first.
Well, I mean, no one likes spending money, Cam, right?
Right, yeah.
It's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
Well, because the other thing too, Cam, I guess the big part of it is it's a mindset thing, right? If you get these things embedded in your mind, they make you better on the outside, but it's more of an internal thing to bring better results on the outside. And so, it's about doing things right consistently over time to get better results. And so the 5 tips today don't cost you a lot of money. In fact, you can get away with not spending any money. But if you embed them in your mind and boom, 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 as almost like a checklist every time you write, your results are going to improve.
Excellent. Well, I know you've personally coached and mentored a lot of copywriters over the years. So let's dive into number 1. What's the first tool for their arsenal?
All right, Bart, let's go. Challenge is less than 10 minutes today, okay? Let's see if we can. Let's set ourselves a challenge. Let's set ourselves a challenge for under 10 minutes. All right, so here we go. Right, so number 1 is these things. Use your ears. I'm not going, what? What do you mean? Well, it's pretty simple. Listen to what your clients say. Listen to, if you're writing for a client, listen to what they say. Listen to what their clients say, the customers say, because and you might go, what? Seriously? Yeah, seriously. You will find key words, key phrases that they use often again and again. And when you can put those words into your headline, into your copy, into your calls to action, those things connect you automatically to your market. So using your ears to listen to what people are saying, because if it's coming out of their mouth, it's going around in their mind, right? And that's where you want to connect with them. All right. So the big one is, listen to what they are saying and use the words, the phrases, the key terms that they use, and use them also in the cadence that they use them in. You know, if you hear people saying, well, it's this, this, and this, well, use this, this, and this, you know, whatever that might be. But it's a sneaky one, because often we go digging, but we don't actually often hear what people are saying. So it's a call to step back and to really actively listen. And I think it's also an important about slowing down your mind. You know, our minds are very busy and fast, and slow your mind down, open your ears and listen to what people are saying. And then when you do, you open up to receiving all of that stuff that you can then use back in your copy that is going to connect to and therefore convert them a whole lot better.
Yeah, that's really good. I remember an old sales trainer, I think it might have even been someone like Zig Ziglar, once said that you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, and you should use them in that ratio. So use your ears twice as much as you use your mouth, you know, twice as much listening as you do talking, you know.
Yeah, hard sometimes though.
Yeah, hard sometimes. But when you're in front of a prospect or you're in front of a client, like, that's really the way of deeper digging, like getting more information out of them, is to ask them a question and then shut up. And I guess as coaches, copywriters, consultants, sometimes we feel like we've got to do all the talking, but it's in that moment of when you ask the question and then shut up and hear the silence that the client can actually come out. You know, what's inside them can come out.
Yeah, really good point, Ken. We're often scared of silence.
Yeah.
Silence is uncomfortable, so therefore you want to jump in and fill the space. Don't.
Yes.
Let them wrestle with whatever needs to come out, because often if they're wrestling with something, what comes out next is gold, right?
Yeah. Especially if you ask another question based on that first question. So, you know, however they answer that first question, if you kind of dig a little bit deeper, you'll find that there's something behind even the first question.
Yeah. What do you mean by that? Or can you explain that a little bit more? Or what did that feel
really
like when whatever? And then often it's that second layer down where the gold comes out.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. All right, so let's kick off to number 2. What's the second tool that we're going to use?
Well, to channel Zig Ziglar again was 2 ears, 1 mouth, but you actually need to use your mouth when you're writing copy. And what I mean by that is when you've finished your first draft of your copy, what I always do, or I do it 90% of the time, especially if it's a bigger piece, is I print it out and I get away from my computer and I go and read it out loud. And so use
good.
your voice. And what you will find is that the way you read it out loud is the way we read it in our mind, right? The way the customer is going to be reading it. And you'll find that if you stumble over certain things or you pause at certain things, the customer will too when they're reading. We don't want that pause, right? Because that pause gives their mind a moment to wander off and check Facebook or whatever it might be, right? We want them engaged and focused and unable to leave your page. So that voice, that reading out aloud, helps you smooth out those parts that might be there.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and
really
so
good.
it's a really important one that a lot of people miss. And you know, I wish I would love to say that, gee, I do it 100% of the time, but in my busy day, I don't. But when I do, I always find something that I can smooth out to make it better. So it's a really good. Yeah, it's a really important one, Cam.
Okay, so after you've spoken the copywriting out to listen for any pauses or, you know, little humps, what's the third tool that we should be using?
All right, so the third tool, and this is where a bit of low cost might come in, but the third tool is some software, and obviously it's, you know, it's in Word, it's the spelling and grammar check. That's a no cost one, but there are other apps that you can use like Grammarly. What do I pay for that? About, I can't remember, $30 a month, maybe it's not that much. I'm not sure. I've got the premium version of that, which gives you more features, as they all do. The other one is the Hemingway app. I've used that before. I probably spent 12 months using that. I found, I don't know whether my writing just wasn't up to Hemingway scratch, but it, I found I had to change a lot of stuff when I used Hemingway. And yet when I used Grammarly, it more smoothed out the way I wanted to write, as opposed to changing it. And remember, the other thing too is that we always, doesn't matter what our market is, always should be in a conversational tone, right? And really good. So I did hear a copywriter once say, well, he doesn't use Grammarly. Why do I want to be grammatically correct? It's a conversation. It doesn't matter. The grammar doesn't matter. Fair point, but I use it. That's one of the tools I use. And I find it does help with the communication, although I still make the final decision whether I'm going to put the comma in there, whether I'm going to change a version of the word. Quite often I don't, but it picks up things that my eye doesn't pick up, right? And that's why I like it and rely on it.
Yeah. And especially if you're trying to sell a high ticket item as well. Like you don't want spelling mistakes all the way through copy. You know? So,
and obvious grammar mistakes and, you know, double spaces and things like that, you know, and you're right. If it's a higher end market in particular, you know, you've still got to show up well.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. All right. So what's number 4, Steve?
All right, we've got 2 minutes, Cam, to beat our 10-minute deadline. That's right. The other one is tools, Cam, and what I mean by that is we always bang on about, well, at least I do, about the importance of the headline. You're right. If you don't get the headline right, it's over. It doesn't matter what else you do. So your headline's got to be spot on. So when I'm teaching someone copy, I always place a big emphasis on headlines. And so to help boost the power of your headlines, I've got a list of words, about 100 words, that if I'm just struggling for inspiration or I just want more inspiration, I'll just go to it. You know, it's the top headline words in the top 100 direct mail, or sorry, excuse me, the top 100 words in the top 100 print advertisements from last century. Now you might go, that's last century. It's still damn good. It's you and your and you and all that, now, how, all those sorts of things. So I use those as my baseline. And then I've got another group of power words that I will just scan over and see if I can swap words out. Then there's another lot of words that I know, about 60 of them, that I will scan again to see if I can put something else in. So have a tool that you use that can help you, because, you know, you just don't get everything perfect yourself. Doesn't matter how much you've written, you know, you can always tweak something and make it better. And so the tools like that are really important. Look, if you don't have that list of words, I'm happy to send you my PDF copy that I've constructed over the years. It'll be free. It'll be no cost. Just email me, steve@symmetrymarketing.com.au. It's SYMMETRY marketing. So steve@symmetrymarketing.com.au, and I'll send you the PDF.
Okay, that'd be good. Right. So while you're doing that, Steve, let's talk about the next one, and I'll grab your email address and I'll pop it in the comments for people as well. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, so I'll just send that to you. No cost. It's just a nice little tool to have. All right, so the last one, Cam, and again, this is more of a mindset thing than a hard thing, but it's proof. Get more and more proof. The more proof you've got, the better it is for you. And I guess it loops back to the very first one, Cam, about your ears and listening. You know, if you're not listening to someone, at least go back and read the testimonials. Again, you'll see the cadence of the words that people use. You'll see recurring themes in what they say. So they're good. They're really good for proof to reduce that buyer anxiety. Because remember, every buyer comes to every sales situation with a degree of anxiety. Will it work for me? Am I going to get ripped off? You know, do I really want it now? Do I need it now? Et cetera, et cetera. So whatever you can do in your copy to reduce that anxiety that they turn up with, the more chance you've got of making the sale. And that's why more and more proof as a mindset thing for a copywriter. What more proof can I get? You know, isn't more numbers that I need? Isn't more emotional stuff that I need? But more and more proof. Proof is a massive tool for conversion in copy.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so is that the fourth one or fifth one? I lost count.
That was the fifth one. Bugger. We're at 11 minutes. Bugger. We just missed. That was the fifth one. So here they are again. Right. Use your ears, right? Listen to what clients say. Your voice. Read out your copy. That's number 2. Number 3 is get some supporting software. You know, you can do free ones, and there are different apps. I mentioned 2, Grammarly and Hemingway. There are others. Have a tool like the Power Words for Headlines, you know, that I mentioned that Cam's got on the screen there. And the last one is proof. Just get in the habit of more and more and more and more proof. The more proof you've got, the more ways you can present it. You know, it's a great tool for helping you construct copy, but it's a great tool for reducing that buyer anxiety that everyone turns up to a sales situation in. So there we go, Cam. 11. Oh, gee, we're going to be 12 minutes.
12 minutes. There you go.
By the time we finish, it's going to be 12 minutes.
Oh, that's all good. That's pretty good. All right. Well, thanks for that, Steve. We've got your email also in the comments below for anyone. So just click on the hyperlink in the comments below and take Steve up on that offer to grab his PDF, and that'll be fantastic. So thanks very much, Steve. Appreciate the time.
Hopefully that was
helpful. Your wisdom. Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks,
See you
mate.
next time.
See you, folks.
Bye, everyone.